From the actor's questionable political beliefs to allegations of sexual assault, here are Kevin Costner's darkest secrets revealed. I'm gonna start off with how he secretly supports Republicans. Yes, that's right, Kevin has presented himself as a proud liberal for all these years. But he messed up big time when he posed in the wrong shirt. It was back in 2022. A picture of Costner started making rounds on the internet. He was wearing sunglasses, boots, and a cowboy hat. Nothing wrong there. So, what caused the trouble? It was the t-shirt saying, "I'm for Liz Cheney." The picture was taken while Kevin was working on a show Yellowstone in Montana. For those of you who have not yet caught on, Liz was a recognized Republican in the district. Now, Kevin wasn't voting for her since he wasn't a voting resident, which is exactly what made this worse. He carelessly paraded in a t-shirt endorsing a Republican that directly contradicts his political stance. To make things worse, Cheney commented on Kevin's photo, writing, "Real men put country over party." A lot of Kevin's fans prayed that the actor wearing the shirt was a pure case of not knowing better. But Costner doesn't make things easy for his fans. Another time Kevin put his fans on the spot was when he said he goes back and forth on his votes. The Democratic Party doesn't represent everything that he thinks, and neither does the Republican Party. I'm certain Kevin lost a lot of fans' respect that day. But if you think that's bad, wait till you find out what a young Costner brought to show and tell in school. It was his dad's rifle. Costner was only 5, and it was the first day of kindergarten. The school had asked the students to bring their favorite thing to share. And for some reason, his father's 30-30 seemed like the perfect item. What's funny is that he walked all the way to school with the gun and nobody stopped him. His teachers weren't laughing though, as the incident put them on alert, and they kept a close eye on Kevin for the rest of the year. Sure, you guys can laugh this one off, but there's nothing funny about cheating. Did you know that Kevin's first marriage ended over an affair? He married his high school sweetheart, Cindy Silva, in 1978. But even with 3 kids, the two didn't last long, with Silva filing for divorce in 1994. It was devastating for Kevin, not only because his heart was broken, but because his bank account took a beating as well. His divorce from Cindy was known as the most expensive divorce in Hollywood back then. The question is, why did Silva walk away? Well, there were rumors about the actor cheating with a woman, Michelle Amaral, on the Hawaiian set of his movie Waterworld. And when Cindy caught wind of them, she was not happy. Michelle was a 35-year-old hula dancer who regularly performed at the Mauna Lani Bay Hotel, where the film was shot. She had 3 kids of her own, and a husband, Albert, who denied the rumors. But I don't think Costner's all that innocent. He said marriage was hard right before the news of his divorce started making the rounds, adding that the temptations are strong and there's a hungry world out there waiting for you to fall. Yikes, was he indirectly explaining himself? We'll never know. But sources close to Kevin confirmed he'd had a wandering eye for a while now. In fact, one source said, "I don't know anyone who doesn't know about him and other women." Yeah, so I'm betting Kevin's crossed that bridge a couple of times now. There was even a rumor about Kevin cheating on Cindy with a nightclub receptionist, Sherry Stewart, when he was filming Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves in the UK. Kevin denied these rumors altogether, and even worried about the effect that his fame might have on his family. Sounds like another attempt to paint himself as innocent. No wonder Cindy decided to pack her bags and walk away with $80 million. And now, Christine Baumgartner, his second wife, has the same idea. The designer is ending her 18-year marriage with the actor. And while Christine says it's because of irreconcilable differences, a lot of folks think that the story is something else entirely. They think Kevin cheated again. But so far, there's been no confirmation of the rumors, with sources close to the couple saying that there's been no cheating this time. Even if that's true, it doesn't make Kevin's life any easier, because not only does he have to deal with an ex-wife who's looking for the biggest payday of her life, but also an angry boss at work. Yeah, Kevin's feuding with Yellowstone director Taylor Sheridan about scheduling, and it's not pretty. Word on the street is that the actor only wants to spend a week shooting for the second part of the show's last season. And this is after he only wanted to spend 50 days shooting the first part of season 5. Someone needs to tell Kevin that's a tall order, and unreasonable. You can imagine the trouble Kevin's demands caused for the producers, since he's the main act. Not to mention that the scheduling conflicts hurt the morale of other co-stars and have delayed the season. No wonder Paramount decided to call it a day on the show. But Kevin's always been like this. He made a huge issue out of his character's direction in Season 2, with his assistant even insulting Sheridan's other project, Tulsa King. And fans didn't like any of it, with one fan writing that Costner needs to go if he doesn't want to work. They were even comfortable with the directors writing him out or replacing him with somebody else. Another fan addressed Kevin directly, writing, "Hey Costner, do your job and finish filming." To be fair, this won't be the first time Kevin's butted heads with a director and created problems for the project. Kevin Reynolds, who was directing Robin Hood, quit because of Costner. These two were quite the pair in the 1980s, making magic with movies like Dances with Wolves and Fandango. But when it was time for Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, that rock-solid partnership crumbled. What was the reason, you ask? Well, it was all about an English accent. Kevin wanted to sound as English as possible, but Reynolds disagreed. He thought a heavy English accent would be distracting. Things didn't get easier when the producers wanted to make some last-minute edits, and eventually Reynolds decided it was best to part ways from the project. Though, I gotta say, his timing couldn't be worse, because he packed his bags weeks before the movie's release. Despite the hiccup, these two decided to give their partnership another shot and came together on the set of Waterworld. But that didn't go well either. To be fair, this one had a number of problems. Unbelievable budgets, bad weather delaying filming, actors and stunt doubles nearly dying, and destroyed sets, you name it. In the end, Reynolds had enough, and he walked away during post-production, leaving Costner to finish the edits by himself. The actor invested $22 million of his own money in the movie, so I guess he didn't want to see it tank. But that didn't change Reynolds' opinion about him, who said that in the future, Costner should only star in a film if he's the one directing it. Yikes. Unfortunately, it gets worse, as Kevin decided to take on Warner Brothers itself when making The Postman. The actor refused to trim the running time for the post-apocalyptic flick, even though the studio had some concerns about the film's length. But Kevin was in no mood to listen, arguing that the story could be properly told only with the full 3-hour runtime, which ended up costing the studio millions. In the end, Kevin paid the price as well, as his role in the film earned him a Razzie for Worst Actor. Obviously, none of this is doing Kevin's popularity any favors. But I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't tell you about the darkest skeleton in Costner's closet. He was accused of sexual assault back in October of 2004. Costner was getting a massage in a Scottish hotel, the Old Course Hotel in Fife, when he exposed himself to the spa worker and performed a sex act. To make it worse, Kevin was on a honeymoon with his second wife. Unfortunately, the spa worker's allegations were never taken seriously, and she was fired. This was after she reported she felt unwanted at her job after the incident. Later, the hotel put out a statement saying that the parties have settled this matter and that the terms are confidential and undisclosed. Meanwhile, Kevin's representatives denied the entire thing, even saying that it's a matter between the hotel and an ex-employee, and that it doesn't involve Kevin. The victim did file for sexual discrimination and unfair dismissal, but the case ended up being settled out of court, with Kevin facing none of the consequences. So, from allegations of sexual assault to the actor's questionable political beliefs, those were Kevin Costner's darkest secrets revealed.